Mackey on the carry. A minor, number 21, also 53 and on the stop.
And you see the Lancers continuing to attack the inside of that defense for the Crusaders.
You're watching WISAA Division III playoff action, the state semifinal tonight. The Lutheran Lancers from Manitowoc in red against the Crusaders from Racine Lutheran. No score, 9:04 left in the first half. Driving the ball, Lohberger hits on the 30 inside the 20. Great bounce. And down at the 16.
The Crusaders have failed to handle the punch tonight. They've let them bounce, and they have bounced well for the Lancers.
A reminder, our good friends Jim and Janet will be down at the office taking your phone calls. Sports quiz coming up at halftime tonight. I'm sure on the ride down tonight they had a little conversation. Maybe they're talking about heading back to Hawaii with this weather the way it is, Bob.
Well, I tell you, I don't think the wind chill in Hawaii ever gets below zero. So
bet you Jim didn't wear his Hawaiian shirt down to the office tonight, Bob.
More like the sweatshirt or sweater variety, I think.
Do they sell those down there? Sweatshirts? Ricky Collum out to the 36-yard line. Nolte on the stop, first down, so the Crusaders.
Very nice run, and we've seen some good some good downfield blocking as people hustled downfield to try to help out with the block. Here you see the play coming. It's a little slant, then the nice cutback. That cutback, of course, that's where your friends are. They're over on that side, the free people on the side away from the ball. They're downfield for blocks.
Collum, 60 yards now, 10 carries, gets the call again. Hard running by Ricky Collum. Good-looking running back.
He's done a nice job of showing that he's not going to be tackled easily. He really does have good balance, good wheels out there.
Kind of nice size, 5'11", 178. Nice weight for that height. 1,259 total yards this season, 24 touchdowns. Collum hit initially at the line of scrimmage. I think that was Lepich, maybe 67. It looked like he got a piece of him to knock him off balance a little bit.
And Nichols in that backfield again, as we so frequently see him.
Dennis Steinbrenner, athletic director from Lutheran High School, our guest at halftime, in addition to that sports quiz feature. And, of course, we'll have some stats provided by Stan Dietrich, too. And first down for the Crusaders. And Christensen gets to call his own number on that one.
A little surprise there, I think. In fact, there's no way we can tell from up here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was a no-sound snap. The quarterback just goes up, and when he's ready, just nudges the center a little bit. The center snaps the ball, and they take off. So no sound at all. Sometimes it's done that way. I don't know whether that play was.
And fighting his way to the 46-yard line. That was Robbie Collum on the carry.
And Robbie Collum, the younger brother, is actually a bit bigger than the older brother.
And just a ninth grader.
Yes, only a freshman.
Ricky Collum on the carry. And Collum very close to that first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. He could have the first down for the Crusaders.
Good determined running again. He was hit several times there, but arm tackles are not going to bring this guy down. So, and here we get a chance to take another look at it as Collum runs wide, then cuts upfield. And there you see some of those arm tackles, and Karolfi finally putting the final stopper on him.
Collum with that first down now, 76 yards in this first half, 9 carries. That's a nice total for the entire ball game. 5 first downs. So the Crusaders getting this rolling game. Fred Heydrich, concerned look on his face. He's watching Ricky Collum go out there and rattle off some nice yardage. Coming out wide right here, number 20, Bowden. column. Oh, big hit. Lepage, number 67 on him, and Honke in there, number 25.
A big hit is right, Dan. Did he ever come to an abrupt stop that time? He hit in there, but boy, I tell you, somebody was coming. Here you get a chance to see it one more time, and the play, I mean, it stops like right now. That's what you need. Good arm wrap by the defender, and drive that shoulder through.
Christensen hit as he's thrown, intercepted. And Honke at the 39. Nichols was one Lancer back there, number 44 on the sack.
And 84, I think, were both in.
Neuser, right. Neuser and Nichols.
And I'll tell you, they were really in the quarterback's face, and of course the quarterback could not get a good look that time. He threw it out there, and again, like he did last week, Honke stepped in front, a nice interception in the flat.
Good play, and credit the pressure with that interception. Lohberger fakes it, throws deep down the middle, and nearly intercepted. A great diving attempt back there by Jeremy Bowden, number 20.
Just a little bit overthrown that time, and that put it in position where the defender had a good shot. There you see Lohberger delivering the ball out there. It's a nice, soft, catchable ball, but just a little bit long. It floats up there a little bit and makes it impossible for Schrenk to get to it. Almost intercepted.
Schrenk has a 3-inch height advantage over Bowden. And the Lancers a big gain.
That straight ahead dive play on that side. Boy, people are doing things right over on that side of the Lancer offense. And the recipient of some good blocks up there, Hansen again with another nice run.
So the soft clicks off another big yardage play, 3rd down. And about 1.5. Lancers are 4:26, looking to get the first score of the game. And they get the first down and then some. Hansen out to the 45, and the Lancers are rolling, and the crowd's fired up.
That's right. The Crusader defense, of course, has probably heard about the excellent effort that has been put forth by Honke and Vanderwater this year. They may be looking a little bit more for those two, sort of premier runners this week. And boy, that's opening it up for Hansen. He's done a nice job, and it's that straight-ahead dive play to that side. It's working well. Congratulations to the lineman on that side. Good blocking.
Good point, Bob. He has the most carries. 6 now for the Lancers, 36 yards. Now they go back to Honke. But that's one thing that's been impressive in this ground attack this year. They can really mix it up, go to all 3 guys. You can see now there's 2 players with 6 carries, 1 with 5. Fred Heydrich really has the variety in the play calling.
That's right, and that halfback that Hansen is playing, that halfback spot tonight, has been played by several people during the course of the year.
Honke, first man gets it left side, steps over a block. And he's inside the 35 to the 34, first down Lancers.
And that Lancer line, that offensive line, beginning to assert itself a little bit more here as we go down to 3:26 left to play in this quarter. The Lancers have been the only ones to mount really serious scoring threats here. They've been fairly deep in Crusader territory, and here we go on another drive.
3 first downs now for Lutheran.
And we see one of the adages I always liked about football too is, hey, as long as they haven't stopped it, let's keep going with that halfback dive play. It's a real quick hitter, and that makes it tough for the defense. They have to react like right now. They're looking to shed a blocker, but by the time they do that, halfback's past them.
Tack on 3 more for Hansen. Vandewater gets out around the corner. And touchdown. I'll take that back. They say he stepped out at the 1. It was close. He must have just stepped on the line over there. What a run by Vandewater.
Excellent run. He made a nice hit down there at about the 2. But on that hit, he just got bumped enough to take him out of bounds. A very nice run by Vandewater.
2:32 left. Let's take a look at how he gets to the outside.
A little fake, and now he pops it out. Here it's Vandewater making a good move, that run to daylight kind of move. He's out there. Now we'll see that hit we were talking about. Boom, good hit. He keeps his feet, but gets nudged just enough to step out of bounds.
Timeout, 2:32, no score, 29-yard setup, and the Lancers are knocking on the door.
For relaxing family dining, visit Cedar Ridge Restaurant. Cedar Ridge Restaurant features everything from steaks, burgers, and salads to Oriental stir-fry, chicken, seafood, and a children's menu. Cedar Ridge also features daily specials and breakfast all day long. And don't forget Cedar Ridge when planning your next party or banquet. Our banquet rooms are large enough to accommodate up to 300 people buffet style. Cedar Ridge Restaurant opens 6 a.m. daily just off I-43 exit 164 in Maribel.
First and goal at the 2. Fred Heydrich talks over the strategy out there. A few refreshments taken out there. A cup of Coke, Diet Coke or something, Bob?
Hopefully it's warm, whatever it is.
Yeah, warm water tonight, huh? Honke, second man, gets the carry. He's in, touchdown.
Touchdown Lancers, nice drive. They really put together a good one there and were rewarded at the end with the big 6.
You bet, and Vandewater with the key run on the drive, that 29-yarder to set up the first and goal from the 2. Honke takes it in. They're going for the 2-point conversion. Lohberger to Vandewater. He's in, and the Lancers are up by 8.
Well, 2 very, very good teams here. Come back for more.
The Business Technology Association says Toshiba copiers are the most reliable in America, which means Toshiba copiers are as reliable as Old Faithful. Hey, maybe even more. And nothing's more reliable than your Toshiba dealer. Whoa! So for reliable copiers, fax machines, and Toshiba service and supplies, call Ross Office Machines. Ross Office Machines, your Old Faithful Toshiba dealer.
Nichols getting ready to kick it off. Well,
Yes, thank you.
bold move by the Lancers there, going for the 2. It worked, 8-0. Always nice to have that extra point on the scoreboard. Ronnie Payne finds a little hole, and he's out to the 36, so the Crusaders have 2-2-2, 2:22 on the clock to try to respond to this Lancer touchdown.
And, of course, we talked about this quarterback for the Crusaders throwing for almost 60% completions on the course of the year, so we would not be surprised to see them try to put the ball up a little more. Tonight he has not been nearly that successful, but I don't suppose they'll give up on it.
He's gone deep a couple times to Ronnie Payne, number 83. They haven't connected yet. Ricky Collum gets about 5 yards on first down. Pretty close to that. Maybe 4.
Now, almost exactly 5, I think, Dan. A good eye there.
One thing, the clock, unless they rip off a big one, you're right, Bob, they're going to have to put the ball in the air here. Clock running 1:42, 82 yards for Collum on the night. And he's going to add some more here as he has the first down. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains out to the 50. I think maybe he may have been ruled down before the ball came loose.
Yeah, exactly right. The linesman right on the spot and immediately signaled that, yes, the ball's dead at this point. Here you see the play you've seen several times from them. The Crusaders coming to their offensive left and then cutting it upfield. The ball comes loose, but he had been stopped by that point.
Crusaders talking over strategy on this timeout. 1:34, you have 50 yards to go, Bob. 94 seconds to do it. You have an outstanding running back in Ricky Collum who could, break off a big one How do you think Coach Smith's going to call it here?
Well, it'll be interesting because I'm sure that he's looked too, and his quarterback maybe isn't quite as sharp tonight due to the weather conditions and all those kinds of things that can be factored in there. But not completing the passes at this point. So maybe as time goes on, we'll see him throw more. I'm sure they're trying to keep warm over there on the sidelines as we're trying to keep warm up here in the press box.
And thank you to Dennis Steinbrenner. Some hot chocolate has arrived up here in halftime.
And this is going to help to keep us warm.
I thought of a good one, Bob. How about Collum throwing a halfback option in the series? Christensen goes deep, and Payne's behind him. Just deflected back there at the 25. It looked like, to me, Rasmussen tipped the ball.
I think he did. I'm quite sure that he did. From our vantage point here, it sure did look like he got a hand on that to just tap it away. That was, of course, a shotgun that time, something that we hadn't seen earlier from the Crusaders as the quarterback took the deep snap. Very good pressure, too, as he had somebody right in his face as he released that ball.
A little underthrown, looked more like a 22 to me, Bob. Shotgun would have gotten a little deeper. Christensen, a screen and batted down by Nichols. They had it set up well, and that was 6 if he comes up with it.
Almost very good defense that time as they got their hands up. It was a well set up. It's a well set up play. This pressure is meant to be there, but that's not meant to be there. A very excellent play by Nichols, who got his hands up and batted that ball down. Otherwise, a middle screen would have been good for some yardage on that one.
Excellent play by Jason Nichols. Swatting it down with his left hand as he's rushing. That would have gone for big yardage, but Nichols bats it down for Lutheran. Christensen launches a deep one, and Ronnie Payne's behind his man. He gets it. And a touchdown-saving tackle at the 11-yard line by Rasmussen. Well, we said he's gone to him deep now 4 times, and they finally connect.
Now, this time Rasmussen thought the ball was coming, turned around. The ball wasn't there yet, so then had to turn back. He really airs it out. He's got a long toss there, and Rasmussen recovers to make that stop.
40-yard reception for Ronnie Payne, and the Crusaders take another timeout. 1:14 on the clock. Well, let's check. It's not. I don't think it's quite first and goal. They announced that.
Not quite. First down is possible,
2 inches,
but
right? Yeah, down the 2-inch line.
You have to be about 6 inches away, and then you can have a first down. Well, that big pass play, of course, made a lot of difference in this drive for the Crusaders.
(26-7) now. The score: Lacrosse Aquinas leading the Roncalli Jets.
Aquinas, a very good team this year. They've had an excellent year, excellent record, and giving Roncalli a tough one at this point.
Well, Jets with their back to the wall in that one over there. Right here, Crusaders trying to tie up Lutheran High School and batted down, intended for Minor. A great play at the 5-yard line is Karolfi. Boy, we've seen some great defensive plays by the Lancers tonight.
Excellent play by Karolfi. He really dedicated himself to getting to that one, and he's there just in the nick of time to nudge that one. There you see it. Look at him coming on, and the receiver was open until Karolfi closed and was able to knock that ball harmlessly to the turf.
With a minute 9, they could run the ball, Bob. Still, get up there, run another play. They don't have to pass on every down here. 2nd down.
Here's the option.
Here it comes, and they throw back across, and it's dropped at the 1-yard line. He threw back to Christensen, the quarterback, and he can't believe he knew he could have had that one. Wow, that was something.
This play looks like one right out of the playbook we used to use on the freshman team. We have Collum throwing back to the quarterback. Oftentimes the quarterback gets forgotten. There you saw the head turn just a little bit too soon, looking for the end zone before the ball was safely in the hands.
Christensen, and he threw it out of the end zone. It's going to be too wide. And the Lancers take over the football. It's one of those plays, Bob. You put in a play like that option to throw back a quarterback, use it at the right situation. He's wide open there at the goal line. You just don't connect. That's what gives the coaches the gray hairs early.
That's for sure. I mean, the ball was certainly there, and it was probably a touchdown, even though the defenders were closing on him.
So they're going to go for the field goal. Ricky Collum. It's long enough, but it's wide left. And with 52 seconds, the Lancers will take over, leading 8-0.
Not surprised to see a field goal attempt there by the Crusaders. Coach Smith was telling us before the game that he has a great deal of confidence in Collins kicking. He is a punter, of course, and here you see him as a place kicker. Plenty of leg on that one. Not a problem there. He just missed it to the left.
And a play like that fires up the Lancers as they hold on defense. A good defensive stand down here. Now they'll hold on to the football here. Hansen, 41 seconds.
The one big play, of course, that the Crusaders had there, that long pass down there, the Lancer defense still doing a terrific job. Once they got into the red zone, they shut them off.
And they run it inside. Honky, 17 seconds. They won't have to run again. Injury timeout. Oh, check that. Not an injury timeout. Fred Heydrich wants a timeout with 15 seconds. Interesting here.
Well, one thing about timeouts is you can't put them in the bank. They won't let you save them up for next week or anything. So I suppose he wanted to go out and say, hey, it's third down here. Be sure you protect the ball. You know, do whatever you do. Don't give up an easy turnover.
Any other possible strategy things he could be telling? You could have just had the quarterback kneel down, so to speak, if you want to run it at halftime with the 8-point lead. Or could you be talking?
Maybe let's drop back and throw the bomb.
So to say, you could be talking about the trick play you've been working on all week, right?
Yeah, there are the various and sundry options here, and of course, every once in a while, Coach Heydrich comes up with something just a little unusual for the opposition to deal with.
Hey, Jim and Janet, I'm sure, are in place at the telephones. Hi, Jim and Janet, watching on TV. Getting ready to field your phone calls at halftime on Sports Quiz. 682-9603. The number to call on Sports Quiz. We'll bring up a question, give you some choices for answers, and if you know it, call it in. You'll win some great dinner certificates. Honke at 12 seconds.
And that should be it. Oh, no, it's not going to be, as the officials have called.
Well, Fred Heydrich wants to talk it over,
One
Bob.
more time.
Plenty of time left.
4 seconds. 4 seconds till halftime. One more play.
I know one thing is giving some of the early birds in the stands a chance to run over to that concession stand before the big crowd gets there, Bob.
And get some of that delicious hot chocolate. We're on our third cup already, trying to keep warm. And we're not in bad shape here in the press box. We have the wind protection. I want to, again, extend our great thanks to the cameramen who are out there. They have to deal with the wind, and especially on top.
Mike Andrastic tonight up on top. Jeff Saricati down on sideline. Should we say frozen Mike up on top? Yeah, it's always tough up there with that wind sitting high up in the perch like that.
And there's the shot that you see right now is from that camera, high atop the press box.
Two receivers left side. Let's see if Lohberger throws it. He does. Out here to Honke. And they do throw the pass. And that's the end of the first half. And the Lancer fans love it. 8-0. The Lancers 1 half away from going back to Camp Randall Stadium for the championship game.
Yes, thank you. The answer to all my printing needs? Jiffy Jimmy's Quick Print. Whether it's brochures, forms, or flyers, Jiffy Jimmy is the only printer for me. Their in-house graphics department takes me from concept to final product, while the on-site mailing and labeling facility gets me into the homes and businesses I need to reach fast. For quality, affordable, on-time printing, the answer is Jiffy Jimmy's Quick Print. Yes, I just got it.
If you feel like a number at your bank, then First National Bank wants to talk to you. At First National Bank, we match your needs to the products and services that will work for you. Whether you choose our convenient drive-through or lobby services, the First National Bank is there for you. Our convenient lobby hours include Friday evenings and Saturday mornings from 9 to noon. At both our Manitowoc locations, the First National Bank has the products, services, and people to make you number one.
Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle. 6 franchises, all under one roof at First Chrysler Manitowoc. Choose from over 200 new and used vehicles, backed by the #1 rated sales and service departments in the
Brenner from Lutheran High School. First of all, Dennis, thank you very much for the hot chocolate up here. Boy, on a night like tonight, it's an enjoyable beverage to have up here in the press box. We sure appreciate it. By the way, first I want to express our thanks to you for being the host manager of this meet. Did a fine job. Good crowd on hand despite the chilly weather, Dennis.
Well, it's our pleasure. We're really pleased that we can host this WISA playoff. It means a lot for us as a school, for the patriotism, the school spirit, and then it extends into the community.
Dennis, with this 8-0 lead, let's hope the Lancers do maintain it for the rest of the second half. And if they do go on and win, and they go to Camp Randall, give us some of the particulars. We mentioned a 6:30 game next Sunday at Camp Randall. What other details can you give us on the game in regards to tickets and so forth?
Well, ticket prices set by WISA are $6 per ticket for any age group. The game is at 6:30 next Sunday night. We will be taking a fan bus, 47-passenger coach. Tickets will be on sale at Lutheran High. The exact days, probably Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the day.
Is there a particular phone number you could give our viewers if they want details to call over to Lutheran High School, Dennis?
682-0215, and we'll know more come Monday.
Okay, so 682-0215.
Right.
That number, and you can get any details about tickets and all that information and so forth. Dennis, this ball club, we were down there last year for the championship game, of course, against the Kenosha St. Joseph's, a last-second defeat for the Lancers. Real tough loss, but boy, these kids got to be excited about the opportunity.
They're excited. They're kind of on a mission. You know, they felt, I felt, we all felt we should have won last year, and they're on a mission to come back and do it again this year. They're really they've been focusing on that since early August.
And of course, you mentioned, or we did too tonight, about the Stevens Point, Pacelli, Chippewa Falls, McDonald, the winner of that game. Anything about those two schools you can tell us about, Dennis?
Pacelli is undefeated. Pacelli is a real strong program up there. They were the #1 seed in Division II, and we were the #2 seed. So if the brackets go according to statistics, that would be the two schools that would meet in Madison next weekend.
Must have been a thrill last year for the kids to go down to play at a Camp Randall stadium like that. What are some of the thoughts that maybe some of the parents talk to you about their sons having that opportunity?
Well, it started on Wednesday of that week because we took them up to Green Bay and practiced on the Packer artificial turf for 2 hours. The Packers were just great hosts to us, no cost, nothing. They were glad to do it. We could have sold tickets to that practice up there, and maybe I should have. Maybe I just missed an opportunity. But at Camp Randall, it's such an immense place that it didn't look like we had a lot of people there, but we did. We just, the following was just terrific. I don't remember the numbers anymore, but we sold an awful lot of tickets before we went. We took a fan bus, and people were just carpooling up there, playing on the artificial turf. That's really a special thing for those kids, but it didn't awe them because we were up in Green Bay a few days before that.
Yeah, there wasn't any opportunity to sneak number 92 in a Lance uniform and bring him along to the game, was there?
No, there was not. No.
Dennis, Interesting point you mentioned about how vast that stadium is down there. You know, we're up in the press box. Of course, nobody's in the upper deck, but you're right. Sometimes to TV viewers, the people that can't get down there to watch a game, they say, well, gee, it doesn't look like there's too many people. You get to 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people in a 70,000 seat stadium, it looks like it's empty.
That's exactly right. But the numbers were really terrific. This was the largest drawing for the Division 1, 2, and 3 in WISA's history. I don't recall the attendance figures, but it was a great following.
Dennis, we're going to take a break, and we're going to play, I think, some sports quiz. And so 682-9603, get ready by that telephone. After sports quiz, we'll come back and talk a little bit more to Dennis Steinbrenner, AD at Lutheran High School. Good luck, everyone.
It's Sports Quiz time. Your chance to win gift certificates from Cedar Ridge Restaurant. Simply be the correct caller with an answer to our sports quiz question, and you win. The number to call for Sports Quiz, 682-9603. And tonight we'll be looking for caller number 10 to play Sports Quiz. 682-9603 is the number to call if you've got an answer to this question. What is the only Big Ten school never to win a Rose Bowl? Iowa, Purdue, Minnesota, or Indiana? If you know the answer, get to the phone. It's caller number 10 tonight. And as always, employees of Jones Intercable and members of their immediate families are not eligible to play a sports quiz. And only one winner per household per sports season. Also remember, tonight is November 3rd. You can only play and win this sports quiz on November 3rd. Good luck.
For relaxing family dining, visit Cedar Ridge Restaurant. Cedar Ridge Restaurant features everything from steaks, burgers, and salads to Oriental stir-fry, chicken, seafood, and a children's menu. Cedar Ridge also features daily specials and breakfast all day long. And don't forget Cedar Ridge when planning your next party or banquet. Our banquet rooms are large enough to accommodate up to 300 people buffet style. Cedar Ridge Restaurant opens 6 a.m. daily just off I-43 exit 164 in Maribel.
Sometimes I wonder if people really know how much pride we take in our work.
Be sure to check the O2 sensor.
We live by a code of ethics that puts honesty and customer satisfaction first. How do I know we get the job done right? Because I own this shop. And that's the way we do business here.
Thank you, ma'am. Come back to see us.
DeFoe Auto, half-mile north of Highway 310.
The Lutheran band performing for this crowd here tonight, and boy, they're doing a great job considering the weather conditions. And Dennis, while we were in break there, you told me they had to pay to get in here and perform
Absolutely.
tonight.
Nobody gets in free to WISA events. Our band kids out of their own pocket paid to come in to play in the pep band. That just shows you, on a cold night like this, you know, what a great band that we have. Dave Biedenbender, the director, does a fine job with those kids, and here they are on a bitter cold night, doing their part to cheer on the Lancers. That's just part of our family spirit.
Oh, you bet, Dennis, and I'm glad we had an opportunity to show them to our viewers and hear them play in the background. You bet, it's great those kids did that, and shows what great positive youth we have today in our community. Dennis, these kids are the product of some great parents and fans you have at Lutheran High School. I was just really impressed tonight, the weather and everything, a nice turnout tonight for this game. You've had some great supporters at Lutheran High School.
Oh, we certainly do. I don't know what the numbers are tonight, but it's a cold night when they can stay home and watch it on Jones with their fine coverage. Here they want to come out and support the Lancers. I hear people in the neighborhood. I live close to Lutheran High, and my neighbors tell me that they've never seen a school where there's so many cars there on weekends and at night, and the people just come out to support the plays and the concerts, the athletic events. They come to the parent-teacher consultation, and they just give of themselves. Our whole concession stand down there, the Friends of the Lancers, that's a volunteer group that loves the school, and they're just giving of themselves. Absolutely.
And we can see in the background now, I think the concession stand doing a brisk business. I'm sure the hot chocolate and the coffee pots are going strong over there tonight.
Absolutely, blowing fuses like crazy.
Dennis, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
We hope that the second half goes as well as the first half. The Lancers go down to Camp Randall Stadium, and Jones Intercable will be down there to cover it if you go.
Super. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks a lot again. Dennis Steinbrenner, Athletic Director, Lutheran High School. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at some stats of the first half after this.
Hey, Barb, you look like $1 million. No sweat, Judy, but I wish I had a few more bucks.
Ladies, stop the racket. You could all be better off financially if you worry about your financial health as much as you worry about your physical health. The pros at the Anderson Planning Group will work on a plan just for you and lift your finances even higher. So get a grip on your finances. So let us pump up your finances today.
Data Plus. Data plus a whole lot more. If it can be done on a computer, it can be found at Data Plus, featuring a complete line of video games from Microsoft Golf to Myst. Games and software that challenge not only your reflexes, but your mind as well. From grade school to grad school, Data Plus can help you get the grades you'll need to succeed. And even if you've never seen an ocean, discover the fun and ease of surfing the net. Data Plus, with complete systems for running your business to getting your degree to simply relaxing after a tough day. You'll find everything at Data Plus. Data plus a whole lot more.
8-0, the Lancers leading our halftime score. Congratulations to Keith Bondi, the winner sports quiz tonight. He correctly identified Indiana, Bob, as the team that hasn't been to the Rose Bowl, hasn't won a Rose Bowl.
Exactly right, and I would have had a tough time with that one. I would have had to just take a shot because I would not have known that answer. Of course, Northwestern was there several years ago, and this year it's looking like they just might have another shot.
Yeah, Keith Bondi, he knows his sports, Bob. 8-0, about 2:50, clock winding down. Bob, your analysis of this first half of tonight's game.
A tough, hard-fought game. Both defenses playing pretty well. A few big breaks for one or two of the backs, and Lutheran putting together a nice drive to go down and put up the only score of the game. And then, of course, the Crusaders coming back and getting a try at a field goal. One big pass play for them that really did a lot. It was a 41-yarder, and that made a big difference. It's really pretty evenly matched at this point. Lutheran, of course, ahead in that very, very important statistic up there on the scoreboard, 8-zip.
So, some individuals are impressive. Brent Hansen for the Lancers, a big first half, and also Ricky Collin, both have looked good. Well, speaking of stats and so forth, let's take a look now at Meadow Lanes North Crunch Time Stats.
It's crunch time. Today's halftime stats are brought to you by the Meadow Sports Complex. After the game, stop at Meadow Sports Complex and enjoy open bowling in the area's largest bowling facility.
And there you see it, that first down stat, of course, one that Racine has been able to put together a few first downs as they've run for 98 yards, as you can see. And they've put together a few first downs with the fine running that you've seen from Cullum tonight. But even though they have run quite fairly successfully, the rushing is still led by the Lancers at 104 yards. The Crusaders, as we talked to you early on, are a team that can throw the ball, but with the cold weather and the wind blowing tonight, only 1 for 11, but that one was a big one as it put them down there with their chance at a score with a field goal. First of all, a chance at a touchdown, and then their shot at a field goal, which went a little bit wide. The time of possession, the Lancers are a grinded-out team. You've seen them. They haven't broken the big runs except for the one by Vandewater, but they've been grinding it out, and as a result have a nice little cushion on that time of possession stat. Of course, some individual things for the Racine Lutheran Crusaders. Collin with 12 rushes for 90 yards. He is having a good night. He has shown us that he is a good running back out there. Payne with that one catch for 41 yards, and with 52 seconds left, they missed that field goal. Lutheran, of course, the scoring Honky on a 2-yard run with 2:28 left in the second quarter, and then what could prove to be a very big play at Vandewater with a 2-point run for that 2-point conversion. Very, very important to get that score up to a total of 8. The kicker that they have on this team, I don't know if they kick their extra points all the time for Racine or not, but they have a strong leg kicker, something to keep in the back of your mind here as this game, if it should get close, there's always a chance of a fairly lengthy field goal from that lad.
Ricky Collin, a multi-purpose talent for them. He can do it all. Punts, kicks, excellent running back for their ball club, and outstanding player. And, of course, hey, the Lancers, we have them in the red jerseys tonight as well, Bob.
That's right. A couple of other things as far as some rushing stats individually, of course. Hansen with 8 rushes for 40 yards, and Ed Vandewater 6 carries for 43 yards. So those two are responsible for a good chunk of that over 100 yards rushing that the Lancers have rolled up.
Our latest report from lacrosse, 26-14. Roncalli Jets at the moment down by 12, so they're trying to hang in there, trying to claw their way back into that one. La Crosse Aquinas, an outstanding ball club. Long bus ride for the Jets, Bob.
That's right, and that's a tough thing to do. You see, you get on a bus and ride for 4.5 hours. It takes a good hour just to get out and move around and get all the kinks and out after being cramped up in a bus for that long drive.
I was going to say, it sounds like when you and I go to play golf, Bob, and we get up to the first tee after a long ride, doesn't it?
And that takes a good 20 minutes to get those kinks out, too.
Lancers will receive the second half kickoff. We'll take a break and be back with that kickoff in just a moment.
Thanks, Manitowoc, for making the fitness store the #1 fitness equipment dealer in the area. And here are some of the reasons why. Quality products. The fitness store carries a large selection of brand names. Knowledgeable staff. Our staff goes through continual training to better serve you. And service. The fitness store offers warranties up to 5 years and will travel to your home for deliveries or repair calls. When you're looking to buy fitness equipment, come to the fitness store in the Edgewater Plaza. Serious equipment for serious fitness.
Our score. We're just seconds away. Actually, Lancers, I think they wanted to warm up a little extra tonight. I mean, in the locker rooms, they're just taking their exercises right now. And Crusaders, they've been out here for a few minutes.
Well, I certainly can't blame them for searching for a few minutes of warmth because it hasn't gotten any warmer, I'm sure, though we don't have a thermometer up here. The wind, I don't know, maybe, I guess, staying about the same, but it's cool. It's very chilly out there on that field.
So the Lancers huddled up down at the 10-yard line. Officials down here in the 20, they're taking off their jackets, Bob.
Well, they must be warm. They've got they probably went into the locker room during the halftime too, just to get warmed up again and come out for a second half.
Only one score in this first half. We'll take a look at it right now.
And here you're going to see that Lancers with a handoff to halfback Honke, slanting back, a power play, lead blocker in front. He finds, gets stood up a little bit at the line, or just past the line of scrimmage, and then sees the gap off to his left. And there you see it. He's across that line, 6 points Lancers.
I like that football name, Bob. Halfback Honke.
Yeah.
And the two-point conversion, 8-0, and that's where we stand. Fred Heydrich moseys on off to the sideline here. Every possession's big, but boy, this first series with the Lancers getting the football here on the kickoff, boy, it'd be great to see them with a big drive down the field and get some kind of score on the board, Bob, so they can increase this by more than a touchdown.
That's for sure, and I think they would like to see some of that time come off that clock as well. The good solid running game that they've exhibited, I'm sure, is going to be out in evidence in the second half as well.
Collum gets under it a little bit, short one down to the 20, and taken by Seth Honke. Fine return out to the 38. Interesting comment by Dennis Steinbrenner at halftime, Bob. I thought he said, this team is on a mission. They went to Camp Randall last year, lost a heartbreaker in the final seconds. All these kids kind of really dedicated themselves this season for that return trip back down there, and hopefully to bring something home that they didn't come back with last year, Bob. And it's quite a testament to this ball club, how well they've played this year. They're on track. Lohberger to Vandewater. And good D by that Crusader defense. They're on the stop. Number 58, that was Shane McClure, 6-foot senior on the stop.
And it was good defense. They are putting a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage. The defense a little bit different than we were expecting to see from the Crusaders. They're playing it a little tighter, a little closer to the line.
Lohberger to Honke. Speaking of golf, Bob, we mentioned the first half. Joe Matzig, Herald Times reporter, sports writer in the booth tonight. Hey, former B-Fly champion in the Manitowoc County Golf Open. Played golf with Joe a lot of times. He's up here tonight in the booth, and you can read Joe's article on this game tomorrow on the HTR. 10:34, 8-0. Third down play. They keep it on the ground with the run. And Ricky Collum, 42, strong safety on defense, the big running back on offense. Tough tackler.
That's right. He came up and made this play, the one coming up, a 4th and 1. Does a good job there. You'd like to be with a shoulder driving through the tackle, but he did a good job. He just wrapped those arms and brought Hansen back.
Fred Heydrich, he's going to go for it. 4th down and a foot. No punt in Fred here at midfield. Lohberger, and there's a penalty flag. They have the first down yardage, but you hate to see it when the referee throws it. Backfield in motion, illegal motion.
Yeah, the flag was, I must have had a little trouble getting it out of the pocket there. It was kind of late, but I did not pick up the infraction that time. It's going to make a 4th and about 6.
And let's see if that's going to change the strategy here. If he's going to have Lohberger punt the ball, that's usually the case, Bob, when you walk back 5 yards.
That's right. That 4th and 1, they had it made. The play was good enough to get that first down, but unfortunately the penalty. And oh, those penalties, they can be so costly. So have to give up the Lancers will have to give up the ball here and call on that defense again.
Lohberger, a driving punt, taken at the 27. And Griffin, the returner, number 22. Good stop. It looked like Resba on the stop, wasn't it, number 15?
Could have been, yes, I think it was. And good coverage as they hustle downfield. And this time, the Crusaders handling the punt instead of, because that one would have bounced well again. It was a low line driving kind of punt and would have really run downfield, but they stopped it this time.
Collum out to the 40. Again, congratulations to Keith Bondi, our sports quiz winner tonight. Thanks to everyone who called and played, and thanks to Jim and Janet for taking the phone calls, as they've done a great job all throughout the football season.
Really good feet there by Collum. He really keeps his balance well as he makes his spin moves. He walks back like he's tired out, but then they hand him the ball in the next play, and and he's a house of fire again.
Jimmy Brown did that trick too, Bob, years ago.
Oh, yes.
Right? Didn't he walk back pretty beat up looking? Ricky Collum. Of course, our statistician, Stan Dietrich, doesn't remember him probably, does he? He was just a little kid back then.
Jim Brown is kind of, well, of course, the actor Jim Brown is still around, but as a football player, he's a little before Stan's time.
Yeah, those NFL film highlights, that's where Stan saw him. And that was when Stan was a little kid, too, the highlights.
They may not have made that.
I don't think so, Bob. It looks like they're spotting it right at the 45. The marker is about another foot past that.
Well, now as they unpile, the
nose of the ball.
Referee is signaling it is a first down.
Yeah, lost check. You can see the marker over there was right at the line, and there you see the white stripe of the ball is at the end of the line, so the nose is over. Crusaders driving. They're down by 8. Collum. Turning back the play. Nice job, Tom Vandewater, number 91. Ed Vandewater, 96. There you see Tom, 91. Nichols, 44 at the bottom.
You got a big job there, Dan, because you're going to have to name about 3/4 of the defense in on that tackle. Here's the pitch to the outside. He has to cut it back in. The outside not open this time. He cuts it in, and there's a bunch of those red jerseys just waiting for him.
103 yards now over the century mark for Collum. 15 carries. And minus yardage on this play for Column.
Great defense.
Scott Neuser on the stop for a -1.
That's what the penetration will do for you, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, breaking through, and excellent form on that tackle. One thing you really want to see on a tackle, Neuser, I congratulate you. That's a beauty. Put your head in front. The guy will not run through it.
There was a -5 on the play, 5-yard loss, complete to Ronnie Payne. And it's first down at the 40, so some big receptions tonight for Ronnie Payne. He caught the one down there near the 10. Nice out pattern that time. He's a big target, 6'3" senior.
Yes, he is, and this time he hangs on to it again as he did in that earlier long pass.
Rasmussen on the tackle. You saw Karolfi back there in the secondary as well. And guess who? Number 42. Nice stop. Seth Hanke gets him by the ankle to trip him up.
That's right. It's hard to run without those feet under you, and of course that's exactly what Hanke did, is to take those feet away right there. Good determined defense. You get what you can get here. If you can get an ankle, get a leg, you get it, and it makes the stop this time.
You see how he just slid right down from the thigh pad to the foot.
And without that foot coming through to carry through the next running stride, he goes to the turf.
And they do a reverse. They lose the football. And it's picked up. Nichols. One man to beat. And he's dragged out at the 18. They go with the reverse. And they lose the ball in the handoff.
That they did in a very alert. Nichols scoops that thing up and does a nice job of getting some positive yardage out of that one. Here you see it. The pitch, the handoff on the reverse. It's never cleanly made. Nichols scoops it up, does a nice job, and good hustle by number 59 to track him down.
And the little kick didn't hurt things either down the field.
It got the ball moving in the right direction for the Lancers.
See if Lutheran, the Lancers here, can take advantage of this. And Hansen is driven back by Miner. By one thing, this Crusader, that interior line, they've been tough to run on inside. We've had some runs, I think, a little more success, Bob, when you say outside maybe tonight.
The biggest run from scrimmage, of course, was Van de Water's run to the outside, where he was taking it over the end position, then bounced it even further out, took it to the sideline. That was the big run. Tough running inside. There are some big boys in there.
That was the third turnover of the night. Lohberger goes to the air, complete. And out at the 6, Scott Neuser. And the fans, this is a nice way to stay warm out here, Bob. A lot of cheering.
Here you see Lohberger, the short drop, because we're going to have a quick out here. The quick out, nice grab. Well thrown ball right out in front of the receiver. That's going to be a 1st and goal for the Lancers.
At the 5. 4:44 on the clock. Third quarter. Lancers leading by 8. The way this game's going, boy, a second score looks big right now. But a 3-yard loss. As Van de Water, ball back at the 8.
Just as you saw a little while ago, the penetrating defense by the Lancers. This time it's exactly the same thing from the Crusaders as they get through for that stop in the backfield.
Fishow moves that ball up a little bit. Let's call it the 7-yard line, I would say, from that angle.
2nd and goal.
Pitch coming wide. He's looking for the pylon at the corner. Van de Water, touchdown.
And credit Seth Hanke with a good part of the success of that play. He was leading as one of the backs out of the backfield leading that play, and he made a very nice block right at the goal line. That person that he blocked would have been able to step up and give Van de Water trouble, but Hanke took care of him. Good block, nice run, touchdown.
14-0. The Lancers now lead it as Lohberger. They're going to go for the 1, it appears, and make it 15. it's blocked. And that ends the kick attempt. And so our score, 14-0. Stay with us, 3:58 left in the third.
Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle. 6 franchises, all under one roof at First Chrysler Manitowoc. Choose from over 200 new and used vehicles, backed by the #1 rated sales and service departments in the state. 6 franchises, top rated sales and service, all at First Chrysler, Menasha Avenue, across from the airport, Manitowoc.
53 total yards by Vandewater, 7-yard touchdown run. Back at the 16, Ronnie Payne. Boy, there's been some good special teams coverage by the Lancers tonight. Nice play there by, Schrank. Just want to give him credit with a nice stop there, Bob.
You bet, a nice job by him, and they keep him short of that 30-yard line. Well, it's time for the Crusaders. They've been opening it up a little bit here in this second half, throwing the ball a little bit more. We'll see if they continue that trend. Lots of wide receivers this time. 4 wide outs, quick receivers.
Lancers would like another turnover. Going down the middle for Payne. Running a post pattern. Was able to get inside position there on Nolte on that deep one, but the ball wasn't anywhere close to the receiver.
Quarterback really wound up and threw it a good distance too far that time to be a completion.
Now we'll see trailing by 14 if they're going to go with Collum as much in the running attack or if they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more. They still have 3 minutes left in the third, but they got to be a little bit more concerned now about time and maybe see if they do go to the air a little bit more. Christensen to Collum. That was almost kind of like a little pick play type play over there. Notice that, Bob, how he came behind the, I think that was number 20 over there, right, Bodine.
A little wide receiver screen type play as one of the 3 quick receivers to the outside there just curled back behind the other 2 and delivered the ball to him. So they're really opening it up here with their offensive set. They've had 3 receivers wide left that time, 1 wide to the right, and you're going to see a similar setup this time.
You can hear Go Big Red in the background. Lancer fans. Christensen going to Payne. He's open in the middle. And Payne at the 32. Boy, he's been tough, and that was even double coverage on him.
Yep. The safeties, of course, back there covering that time. We're seeing the ball up in the air a great deal now. I think it's, as you were talking about, Dan, it's too early to panic. Still almost just under 3 minutes left in the third quarter, but they like this passing attack, and they're going with it now.
Keep an eye where Payne is on each play. This time he's flanked wide left. And they try to cross up the Lancers with Collum, but that didn't work too well.
The draw play that time, but good alert defense. And I think you're going to end up with a loss of a couple, or a yard, half a yard on that one.
Ronnie Payne, 3 catches, 86 yards tonight. Hey, pretty impressive yards. Was that 20, almost what, 9?
Yes, that's
right.
Yes, right up, almost that amount. They're rolling them up pretty good.
They don't average that in the NFL, do they, Bob? And he throws a Collum, makes an unbelievable catch of that. Wow, I can't believe that. Back in that backfield is Tom Vandewater putting all that pressure on Christensen. I mean, he threw falling backwards. Dangerous pass.
Good hustle by Vandewater. He was coming after that quarterback and coming after him hard. I think that might have been a sort of a semi-screen setup as they dumped the ball to Collum in a position which would be screen-like.
2 big plays here. 3rd down and 9. You have to think that they're going to go for it on 4th down in this territory, Bob. So 2 big defensive plays for the Lancers coming up. And a sack. Well, that'll be grounding. There's the flag.
That's definitely grounding. There's no two ways about that one. That's going to count both as a penalty and loss of down. Can't really blame the quarterback here. He gets some big pressure. He's already being tackled, and he just throws it into the dead spot. I think everyone can see there's really no doubt at all about that one. That's definitely an intentional grounding.
Pretty obvious when the ball comes out of their sidearm.
Sideways. Not much of a spiral on that one. And that is, of course, a point of infraction. That is at the point where he was being tackled and threw the ball down. That's where the penalty comes from.
Bob, an update from lacrosse. Aquinas 26. The Jets now 21. Roncalli within 5. They're coming back.
They're having quite a game over there way out west.
Let's hope the next score we hear is 28-26, huh? Roncalli. But first, we'll take care of business at Municipal right here as the Lancers. Ball goes out inside the 20. Well, it's sure been fun doing these 2 Lancer games here. And as our policy in playoffs, Bob, this year, any team that hosted a game here in Manitowoc, we were going to be here to do it. And, well, fortunately for Lutheran High School, they had the 2 games here. We were kind of hoping that we could have done both Roncalli and Luther, of course, both playing on Friday night. That would have been fun, and maybe like a doubleheader Friday, Saturday, or Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening you could have had for us, Bob.
Well, yes, we could have had the doubleheader action.
Wonder if our voice would have lasted 2 games in a row. I don't think we've tried that in football, have we? And not much going to the outside. Vandewater was minor on the stop.
You may just be seeing the Crusaders do a little bit more taking chances here on the defense, too. Notice how many people are up on the line of scrimmage there. They want to stop this. I imagine they expect the Lancers to run. And as they do there, they want to stop and get that ball back. They've seen their passing attack be successful.
Number 21, I've been impressed with Aaron Miner. 6'4", 211-pound senior, that middle linebacker. There you see him right ahead of the umpire there, number 21.
He's made some good stops on D.
Does a nice job going to the ball. Look at it right there again. Wow. Just textbook that time. Getting up, number 21, Aaron Miner. What a nice ball player. 15 seconds left in the 3rd period. Honke with an equipment repair and working on his helmet over there. Oh, and they get back in the huddle and call the play and crank up the clock here. I don't know. I think they're just going to probably let her run out here, Bob. Right, they're not going to huddle up. Having a 14-point lead. Hey, run some clock time.
That's right. They'll switch ends of the field, and we'll take a look at what happens in the 4th quarter of this ball game.
So don't go away. The Lancers lead it after 3, 14-0. They're just 12 minutes away from taking a trip to Camp Randall next Sunday.
I usually work at the snack bar, dude.
From what you've told me, this camera should fit your needs perfectly.
Lloyd, photo and video. Get the picture?
Protect your cars and trucks with mobile products that are designed to protect vital engine parts from wearing. At Novak Service Center, we use only high-quality mobile oils and lubricants, including the complete line of Mobile One synthetic oils. Keep your engine running clean with Mobile Super Plus gasoline for smoother idling, better drivability, greater performance, and lower emissions. New improved Mobile Super Plus keeps everything cleaner. For all your car care needs, stop in at Novak Service Center at the corner of 14th and Washington Street.
12 minutes left, 14-0. Lancers with the football. They want to continue to get some first downs. Lohberger throws. Beautiful pass to Hockey at the 32, and he cuts it back. Still on his feet at the 50 and into Crusader territory. What a play by Lohberger and Honkey.
Big play, and was Honkey open. Somebody was not looking for him to be coming out of the backfield on the pattern there. Honkey's lined up as a slot back out here. Not exactly a slot. That would be more of a wing. Look at this cut to the outside, and he is by himself. Quarterback Lohberger makes the good read, and still nobody in the picture to make the tackle.
31-yard pickup. Hansen. That time, see, was that? No, it wasn't McClure, was it? Let me check.
It was Minor again in on the
was
stop. And he's made a lot of good stops out there tonight, but of course they are really putting people up on the line of scrimmage again. We bring that point up, but that's what the Crusaders are doing. They're attempting to stop things at the line.
Going around the right side and a loss in the play.
Well, we could say we have no audio, but I suspect no one's going to hear us. Now. Okay, we had a little audio problem up here in the booth. We couldn't hear anything, but I guess you folks out there did.
Well, they didn't hear us having the heart attack on here, Bob, when everything just
everything suddenly went dead. All three of our headphones up here just ceased operating for us, but not for the people in the truck, we're informed.
It's like in the movies when they cut the phone line outside the house, right, Bob?
That's right.
The mystery shows. Lohberger. Oh, another beauty. Hansen. Wow, what some touch. Boy, Lohberger. Two beautiful passes. One to Honkey, now back to Hansen.
And the ball laid in there so beautifully. It's got that arch on it, makes it very, very catchable. Some quarterbacks like to drill them so hard that nobody can hold on to them on the other end. This one, look at that, beautifully laid in there. Nice pass, Lohberger. Good reception from Hansen.
Down in my neck of the woods, they call that the St. Louis arch. that trajectory, Bob.
That's right, yeah.
At the 33. And Vandewater. That play really just never got on track. Some penetration by the Crusaders. Shane McClure, number 58, came knifing through.
Again, we will keep reminding you that what the Crusaders are doing are putting a lot of people right at the line of scrimmage. They're trying very desperately to stop the run. They have to get this ball back. And what that does, of course, is opens things up. When people are playing really tight to the line, it's easy to get that extra step on them. And Lohberger has delivered a couple of strikes to Honkey and to Hansen here to keep this drive going.
9:24 left in the game. 14-0. Lancers leading it. And they continue to run clock time. A third down coming up as Honkey maybe gets a yard.
It'll be interesting to see if the Crusaders will pull back a little bit this time. Third and long, they can afford to give up a couple of yards. They can't afford to give up another first down. We'll see. If they continue to try to stop it at the line of scrimmage, they may set themselves up for another one of those Lohberger passes.
Honkey, nice run up to the 25. Brings up fourth and a couple. Nice thing on that play by running the football, Bob. Whatever you gain in the play, you ensure yourself of keeping the clock running. The risk always on the passes, if it's incomplete, you're stopping the clock. With the 14-point lead, you love to see that clock running between plays, right?
That's right. Here with about a fourth and approximately two, maybe a long two, we're going to be under 8 minutes by the time this play is run.
You get a first down here, you have to figure Even if they don't get another first down, that's another, 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock. And Hansen, and he's going to be short. Crusaders take over on down, so they do their job, and they get the football back with 7:54 in the clock.
Good D that time. They were, again, playing to stuff the ball right at the line of scrimmage, and this time they were successful. There, so the Crusaders take over. 7:50 left on that clock.
Wind continues to blow. I see Mike Andrastic. He's up on top. A little, what is it, about 30 below wind chill up there? Mike is right behind us at the moment, Bob. And throwing deep down the field, Rasmussen, incomplete.
The only people with a chance at that one were those people in the red shirts, the defenders that time.
Little people know behind the scenes, when you have multi-talented people, we can kind of juggle crew around during a game, Bob, and shouldn't tell our inside things, right?
But it's to try to keep some of them from freezing to death out there in that breeze.
Oh, that's right. I think they get a $50,000 bonus, though, don't they, if they freeze to death?
Yeah, but it's so hard to spend.
Hey, they have to collect it themselves, all right? Coming around that side and sack at the 16-yard line. Christensen brought to the turf. Scott Neuser.
Good hustle by Neuser. No giving up on that. Here we see the rollout start. Neuser's coming hard, and no give up on it. Make sure you get that tackle. Excellent job. Good D. Lancers have put the Crusaders into a tough spot here. Third and about 18 or 19 yards. That defense all season long has been doing a good job of putting pressure on the running backs and the quarterbacks.
6:43, the Lancers. That many minutes away from returning to Madison. Incomplete, and it's going to bring up fourth down. And about 17-18. Now interesting decision if you're the Crusaders. Boy, they need 2 scores yet.
Here you see, drop back on that pass. He's unloading it. Big windup on the throw for this quarterback. And pretty good shot at that ball by Collin, but he can't hold on as he's covered closely by Rasmussen.
We'll see when they come out here. I got a feeling they're going for it here. They are. They figure if they give it back to Lutheran, they might not get the ball back, especially 2 more opportunities. Here we go. They throw deep down the middle. Hockey, the only player with a chance to get it.
Very heady move by Seth Honke that time. He had a chance to intercept that ball. I really believe he could have gotten to that, and he simply dropped his hands to his side and let that ball fall incomplete. Had he caught it back there and gotten tackled, he would have given up about 30 or 35 yards in field position. Very heady move by the senior out there.
Excellent comment, Bob, as he knew that ball was going to come back, as you said, back here to the 16. Hey, you have to give credit, though, to Scott Smith. He took his final shot there. I think he was in a position where he probably needed to do that, Bob. And touchdown. And that's going to ice it as Neuser takes it in.
Again, a nicely thrown pass, a beautifully run pattern. What can you say? Very, very nice, Lutheran Lancers.
Still 6 minutes left, but it looks much more likely that the Lancers are going to be traveling to Madison come next Sunday down to Camp Randall to take.
You can almost hear the strains of On Wisconsin echoing around here, can't you?
Hey, red and white. That fits perfect at Camp Randall, doesn't it? Those uniforms they have on. Lohberger is hit back here. Couple of problems on extra point attempts tonight. 20-0.
When seconds count, dial 911 and request Unified Ambulance.
Unified Emergency Line, what is your emergency?
Please, I need Unified Ambulance. My husband...
With Unified Ambulance, hospital-based paramedics respond as an extension of Holy Family Memorial Medical Center's emergency department to save lives. Acting as the eyes, ears, and hands of the emergency room physician, Unified Paramedics assure professional, advanced life support at the scene of medical emergencies. When you need emergency care, request Unified Ambulance.
6:25, Lancers to kick it off. Nichols back there. Nichols with that driving, front-on style kicking. Ronnie Payne picks it up at the 20. Good run by Payne. Good-looking returner up to the 35.
Yeah, he's returned a few tonight. He's gotten positive yardage out of each and every one of them. So a pretty good effort by him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to throw the ball to that young man. 6:19 is going to be a big job. They're going to have to strike and strike quickly, so I think you'll see the ball up in the air.
Well, there might be a clincher there in lacrosse. 32-21 now, 11-point deficit the Jets as lacrosse scores again. Going to the air, Buck Reinders over on the sideline at the 40.
Big hit over there. The pass completion made, but then the big hit by Nolte over there as he makes that one certain to go no further after the reception.
Nice grab by Reinders. And incomplete. Karolfi nearly picking it off. That would have been 6.
That would have been a very athletic move by him, going up high over the shoulders of the receiver, and would have been a nice pickoff if he could have gotten it, but the ball goes incomplete.
So the Jets trailing by 11 against La Crosse Aquinas. They're trying to get down to Camp Randall Sunday. And of course, it has to be pretty late in that game as well. Just 5 minutes left here. Incomplete, intended for Payne.
Tough catch there. We've seen that guy make some nice ones, but that was a tough one. Over the shoulder kind of thing. He had to, it would have been a very good athletic catch to make. And he was wide open. He had some room. There you see it trying to catch it over the top like that. It's tough to do. And I'm sure those receivers' hands aren't getting any warmer as this game wears on.
Christensen runs out, stops the clock at 5:23. So he's short of the first down, so Lancers come out. And boy, the D has really done the job tonight. And that's one thing. We talked about 80 points, 10 games. You look at the scoreboard right now, a big goose egg on there for the Crusaders.
And this is not a slouch team out here as far as offense is concerned. These people have rolled up yards this year. They've thrown, they've run the ball very well. We've mentioned it, 1,259 yards for Rick Collum, 24 touchdowns. This is a good team, a good offensive team, and the Lancers have shut them down.
And Lohberger, as they had a little mix-up in the backfield, tried to hold on the ball, was stripped, and the Crusaders, I think, have the football. With a mass of people there, couldn't tell really who came up with the football, but they have it.
What happened that time, of course, was good penetrating defense. Lohberger wanted to make a hand back on a counter-type move, I believe. I'm kind of guessing on that. But the play certainly looked like it was going that way, and he started to get hit and did the smart thing. He didn't try to force a handoff. He just held onto the ball himself until it came loose.
Christensen hits Payne. Breaks it back into the middle, out to the 42. Clock will stop at the first down. 4:59 left.
I suspect that that turnover was not so much as a fumble as it was stripping the ball. They were going after it, of course. They needed to get it back, and they did.
Not impossible to come back from a 20-point deficit. 5 minutes to go. Incomplete. Intended for Robbie Collum.
Good pressure on that passer again. Boy, it's such an effective way to mess up a passing attack is to be right in the quarterback's face.
Jerry Karolfi, their number 20, doing a fine job in that secondary this year with Rasmussen, Nolte, Honke back there.
Now, mentioning the Lancer defense, they've also forced the Crusaders to play a lot on their own end of the field.
Reinders. Now that was a play. He didn't know the ball was coming. He turns around. The ball's there. He one-hands it, spins around.
He one-hands it behind him. That was a very athletic catch. That was another one not at all easy to make.
39. Deep down the middle, intended for a Payne, and close.
Yeah, it was a nicely thrown ball, and it was right in his hands. He just couldn't hang on to that one. Not much you can say about that other than just wasn't a completion. It was certainly right there. Nicely run pattern, well thrown ball.
Well, again, 6:30 p.m. next Sunday, Camp Randall Stadium, the Division III title game. The winner of this one, at the moment, looking very good for the Manitowoc Lutheran Lancers. They'll take on the winner of the Stevens Point Pacelli Chippewa Falls McDonald game. And it'll
almost an interception. It goes as a completion and turning the ball over on downs because the yardage gained was probably about 3 or 4 yards short of what it had to be.
Now the clock starts to roll again. 4:10.
Right now, that clock a huge enemy for this Racine Lutheran Crusaders team.
But an ally for the Lancers.
Absolutely.
Let's hold on to that football. 20-0. Hanke out to the 48. Again, this team we said on a mission, trying to return to Camp Randall after a real tough last second. And you know, it's always tough. I mean, anytime you lose a football game, but when it's in the last play or two of a ball game, boy, it's real tough. And we can remember the real silent, quiet locker room, and it's just tough to be around the kids. You really feel for them. You know, you play your heart out the whole ball game, and to see it kind of slip away like that right at the end of the game. Honky. But these kids, you can just see, possession sure they want to get back there, Bob, have another crack, and bring home the trophy this year.
That's right, and I'll tell you, as it looks right now, this team will be going to Madison almost certainly. And here's something the Crusaders are trying to stop the play right at the line of scrimmage. And when you can pop that, you get nice yardage. Now, Honke's done it a couple times in a row here. He gets past that initial surge of the Crusaders' front line of defense, and then it's good. It's a little bit clearer sailing from there on.
Vandewater inside the 35 to the 32.
I think if you walked out there now and talked to the Lancer offense and asked them whether it was cold, they might think it was a balmy July evening out there right now as they're really rolling, getting some nice yardage, a couple of nice runs from Honke and Vandewater. There's someone who thinks it is not at all warm.
Hansen. Two minutes to go, and the Lancers clock running. And I don't think we're going to see Fred Heidrich take any more timeouts here, do you?
At this point of the game, I would be quite surprised to see that maneuver. But sometimes you do need them. If you're going to talk about a particular thing, you know, you want to get that message. It's your only choice.
Coach Heidrich and his staff to be complimented. They've done an outstanding job with this ball club this year. Honke. 125.
I think he's going to be a little bit short. We're going to bring up a fourth and about a foot and a half.
And with the clock at 1:10, just get this first down and kneel down. There he is, the veteran head coach Fred Heidrich. What a great guy.
And some other happy coaches in the picture as well. These guys have done a good job. It's been a really wonderful year for the Lancers, and this is another stepping stone along that path and a great year.
You could see Fred eyeing up the clock. He was looking up there to check out that time. And he has the first down. The spot at the 30, 44 seconds. And this crowd going wild, starting to stand up. A lot of them here giving their team a standing ovation.
And I think that is, as they say, the ball game.
There they are, a standing ovation from this Lancer crowd. They feel pretty warm right now, and they're happy. They know they're heading to Camp Randall next Sunday for the WISAA Division III Championship game. 6:30 p.m. will be kickoff time. 25 seconds. Let's see if we can hear the crowd count it down, Bob. In just a few moments, it'll be down to 10.
Will not need another snap in this ball game.
And that's it. The Lancers are heading to state 20-0 as they'll go back to take another crack at that state title in 1995.
Coach Heydrich heading across the field. Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, Lancers.
Yes, thank you. The answer to all my printing needs? Jiffy Jimmy's Quick Print. Whether it's brochures, forms, or flyers, Jiffy Jimmy is the only printer for me. Their in-house graphics department takes me from concept to final product, while the on-site mailing and labeling facility gets me into the homes and businesses I need to reach fast. For quality, affordable, on-time printing, the answer is Jiffy Jimmy's Quick Print. Yes, I just got it.
20-0. They just all met with Coach Heydrich out there. And, boy, I'm so pleased for these kids, Bob, with the season they've had and the great job they've done in the playoffs. An impressive victory tonight. As you said, Bob, this team that they played tonight, they haven't been in the playoffs in a long time, but they've had impressive offensive credentials coming in. You know, you never know. Maybe their conference team for team maybe wasn't as tough as the Lancers, what they playing up here. But nevertheless, hey, they were the representative of their area down there. They got to the semifinal, and the Lancers really dominated this football game of them.
That's right, especially in the second half. The Lancers really came out and played the game just as they had to do it, and really were a very successful unit, and deservedly so. Those kids have worked hard, and, hey, they look good.
Where the Lancers are going to be tough in a championship game down at Camp Randall is that they have good balance. They can go and score offensively. Lohberger can kill you with some key passes. We saw his pinpoint passing tonight. As you said, some great lobs over the linebackers. They have a good running game, and yet they can also play tough D, so they have it both sides of the football.
Exactly right. And again, I've said it many times now, but I keep saying it because I believe that defense is what's really done it for them. They've had some excellent offense, don't get me wrong, but that defense has been impressive. They did give up quite a few points against Fond du Lac Springs, of course, but Springs is an exceptional team.
We'll be back with more post-game from Municipal. The Lancers are heading to state, Madison, next Sunday. Stay with us.
For me, I played against Reggie Wright, and it was one particular play. I was telling Harris in the car, we ran a sweep around the end, around the corner, and my tight end had him. And next thing you know, I took a hit in my hip. I looked down, it was Reggie Wright. I went back to the huddle. I said, what happened? And my tight end, he looked at me with a solemn face. I slipped. What, did he trip over somebody? He saw Reggie White and got scared. Oh.
Sunday Night NFL is brought to you in part by these participating sponsors. At Maritime, you get the best value on a car or truck. Maritime features 5 of America's top 10 favorites. You'll also find the up-and-coming Windstar. When you buy from Maritime, you get the VIP package, which means discount oil changes and a lot more. Remember, at Maritime, we will meet or beat all competitors' prices, and you will get the car or truck you want at a price with financing that's very comfortable. So when it's time, Maritime. Maritime Ford Lincoln Mercury, Manitowoc.
At the heart of every community are the people who get involved and make good things happen. People like your neighbors at Jones Intercable.
This year, Jones Intercable sponsored the Manitowoc Public Library Summer Reading Program. 1,605 children read a record number of 20,500 hours in 8 weeks. Thanks, Jones Intercable, for helping to promote reading in our community.
Jones Intercable. It's a smart choice.
Hey, lots of fans out there at the middle of the field congratulating these Lancers. What a great game they played. Chad Cordy there, a lot of the kids down there congratulating all the players. Bob, how did the final stats look tonight?
Well, the final stats are actually fairly even. First downs, Lutheran with 10, Racine with 12. Of course, Racine was moving the ball from time to time. They just could not find a way to get past that tough Lancer defense to get into the end zone. The total yards, quite a surprise. You rarely see this. Exactly 240 for Lutheran, exactly 240 for Racine. So it's a total yard tie, but it's not a tie on the scoreboard, as Lutheran has really done a nice job. The passing game, of course, is what carried Racine tonight. Their rushing was 84 yards on 26 carries. Lutheran rushing more effectively, 156 yards. Passing, a decided factor for both teams. Lohberger, 5 out of 7. He really started to sharpen up that game after a couple incompletions at the beginning. 84 yards passing for Lutheran, 9 of 27. They threw the ball 27 times for the Racine Lutheran Crusaders, and they came up with 156 yards. Payne, the big receiver, with 5 catches for 138 yards. A big night for him. Collum, 18 rushes, 100 yards. On the other side of the ball, Vandewater with 57 yards. Hockey with 51 yards. Hansen with 46 yards. What nice balance. All 3 of those starting backs coming out of the backfield, putting up some nice numbers on the evening. And, of course, Lohberger, 5 out of 7. Very sharp tonight, throwing the ball in a nice catchable fashion. An excellent night.
Oh, he certainly did. Very impressive tonight, and well, he's the leader out there. He's the QB, and he starts it all. Thanks again to Stan Dietrich for providing the stats, doing a great job as usual. For our entire Jones Intercable sports crew, for Stan, Bob, and Dan, this is Dan. So long for Municipal, 20-0. Our final, the WISAA Division III State Semifinal. The Lancers go on to Madison Sunday, September 12th, 6:30. Hope you can be there for that one. So long, everyone.
Weather with George Graffis on WGEE AM and WIXX FM.
Action 2 News, brought to you by Network Health Plan, providing choice, comfort, convenience.
It wasn't until I was pregnant with Katie that I scores to pass along.
Ooh, I want to tell you, boy, I tell you what, the players taking part in tonight's WISAA football playoffs won't be able to feel their fingers for another hour or so. But hey, that's what makes Operation Football so much fun at this time of the year. In Manitowoc tonight, Manitowoc Lutheran met Racine Lutheran in a Division III semifinal. After a scoreless first quarter, Racine put together a drive in the second, but Seth Honke put an end to it, stepping in front of the pass. The Lancers took over with good field position, and they capitalized. Senior running back Ed Vandewater took the pitch, found the corner, turned on the Jets, and he flat out ran over a Racine defensive back before he going out of bounds at the 2-yard line. A couple of plays later, Honke scored from 2 yards out. Then Manti went for 2, and Vandewater did the honors to give the Lancers an 8-0 halftime lead. Manti Lutheran advanced to the state finals with a 20-0 win over Racine Lutheran. The Flakes were flying in Glendale tonight, where Fondy Springs met Wisconsin Lutheran in the Division I semifinal. Lutheran scored here on this quick give to the fullback from a 2-yard range, but Springs advanced to the title game with a thrilling 20-18 win over Wisconsin Lutheran. There will be a new WISAA Division I football champ this year following Notre Dame's big win tonight against Milwaukee Marquette. Eric Malik booted this deciding 31-yard field goal as the Tritons shocked Marquette 10-7. the title game next Sunday in Madison. In WISA Division II, the season ends for Manitowoc Roncalli 46-28 to La Crosse Aquinas. If you thought the football players were a little chilly tonight, imagine how the soccer players must feel right about now. But at State, no one thinks about the cold. Unfortunately, the cold probably hurts a little bit tonight because all three of our season. Charlie Whittam tells us this is Coach Bob Hyland's 25th year with the Ledgers, and his silver anniversary could have a gold finish.
Never live in the past, just build from it. That reminder is everywhere in the Fondy Springs weight room, and a win this Sunday at Camp Randall would give the Ledgers a 12-0 season and a WISA state title.
It's been a dream season, you know, playing undefeated and then getting the chance to play down in Madison this Sunday. It's everything we wanted and more.
Right now, our strengths are great offensive line, doing a superb job, just coming out, getting 3-4 yards anytime we need it.
That offensive line features a pair of Division I prospects, Brian Meyer and Ty Gardner. Gardner has already committed to Northwestern. Bonnie Springs and Notre Dame know each other very well. They've played each other 5 times in the last 2.5 years.
It's been a great rivalry, a very good rivalry. I think it's a wholesome rivalry where the game is left on the field and it's a tough game each year.
On Friday, the team will take to the Packers indoor practice facility to get ready for the Camp Randall turf.
We've been looking forward to it a long time, you know, get to go up there and you maybe act like you're Brett Favre or, you know, Sterling Sharp. I mean, he's not there anymore, but, you know, Edgar Bennett, do some things that you've always wanted to do, dreamed about playing up there.
Possibly 2 Field of Dreams will equate into 1 state championship. Charlie Whittam, Action 2 Sports, Fond du Lac.
The Packers need to make a roster move to make room for new quarterback Bob Galliano. Some bow hunters already have venison in the freezer and a trophy at the taxidermist, and have already sent in their pictures to Brian's Big Buck Contest. Tom Chase of Waiwiga sent off this picture of his 12-pointer. This monster had a 17 5/8 inch spread and weighed 202.5 pounds. Got a dandy during the bow season? We'll send Brian a picture along with those vital statistics, and you could be a big winner. Deadline for the entry is November 15th. Quarterbacks are getting a lot of attention this week in Packerland. Ty Detmer had surgery today in his thumb. It went well, and he should be back to normal in a couple of months. Brett Favre's ankle is still tender, but he should play on Sunday. And let us not forget about Bears quarterback Eric Kramer. He has a league-high 21 TD passes and has the Bears in first place in the NFC Central Division. His mission is to keep them.
I don't think we've played our best football yet, and I think we're capable of doing things better, more consistent than what we've done. And yet, here we are still on top of the division. They don't hurt themselves. They don't do things to hurt themselves. You know, Kramer's very efficient quarterback, and I think he knows he's right on top of his game right now. And I think they're not doing anything to hurt themselves. You have to go out and create things for your own team because they're not going to do it themselves.
See you in court. That's what former Packer linebacker Bryce Paup is saying to the NFL tonight after he was fined $12,000 for hitting quarterback Paul Justin, even though no penalty was called on the play. Paup says the fine makes him look like a thug.
You know, they're lumping me in with cheap shots and, you know, guys that go after to hurt somebody. And, you know, it was a clean hit. So I don't deserve to be labeled a cheap shot guy because my third sack, I just laid the guy down. You know, you've never seen me go after somebody's knee or put my head down underneath anybody.
One, but it's not complete yet. The Lancers will make their second straight appearance at the WISA State Finals at Camp Randall on Sunday. As Mike Counter tells us, the Lancers hope their hard work and heart will overcome their lack of size.
Second attempt. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the fight and the size of the dog. That pretty much sums up Manitowoc Lutheran's football team. The Lancers are small, but they're quick and strong.
They don't worry so much about size, and they realize that they're going to be outsized, and they just figure that we have to find a different way to be able to defeat that bigger team that's out there.
Manitowoc Lutheran will face a bigger Stevens Point Pacelli Ball Club in the WISA Finals on Sunday. The Lancers lost by 1 point to Kenosha St. Mary's last year in the finals, and they haven't forgotten.
We came so close, and then we lost it in the final minute, so it kind of hurt. So I just want to get the bad taste out of our mouth.
This year we wouldn't have felt complete. We had a good year if we would not have gone back to state, and hopefully we will win it.
Coach Heydrich has brought this group of kids along nicely. His seniors, he started as sophomores and groomed them so they'd be ready for this opportunity. A win over Pacelli on Sunday, and it's mission accomplished. Mike Counter, Action 2 Sports, Manitowoc.
At the WIAA State Football Finals in Madison, Division 5, Darlington put a world of hurt on Hurley, 63-6. New Berlin Eisenhower shaded Ashland 7-6 in Division 3. Division 1 tonight, Kenosha Trimper and Sun Prairie. The telephone at Ann Warden's house will finally stop ringing as of today. The Pulaski basketball standout signed a letter of intent to attend school and play hoops for UWGB next year. It came down to the Phoenix or Division II Northern Michigan University in Marquette. Academics and Coach Carol Hammerly with the big draws, plus location had a lot to do with Warden's final decision.
My family can come watch me play. I'll have a lot of fans there. That'll be nice. And they just have overall, I like their program. They have a really good program, and they're getting better and better every year.
The Bucks want to salvage one game from their trip to Texas tonight when they visit the Spurs. Milwaukee just 1-3 this year. Hopefully they get things squared away there with their troops. They need to get things jacked up a little bit. Need some help in the middle.
George is going to jack us up in just a moment with the weather. Stay with us.
At Broadway, we believe in giving you more choices. That's why every day you can find over 175 used vehicles in stock. Cars, trucks, vans, sport utilities. You name it, you'll find it. Many are local, low-mileage, one-owner trades. No matter what vehicle you select, you can be assured we've inspected everything. At Broadway, you'll find more choices. Nearly 175 of them. Every day.